Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, pizza. We're talking about pizza today. This is a request from a lot of y'all for a long time, and it is a very overwhelming and intimidating request to talk about, especially on censored platforms like this one. But we're gonna get into it. First, I want to go ahead and visit the elephant in the room, okay? I showered and let my hair air dry. I didn't have time to blow dry it and straighten it. It is what it is. Forgive it. It's wild. I know. I have naturally very, 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 very curly hair. Okay, so back to what people actually care about. Y'all have asked me a lot of questions. Among the questions y'all have asked me, I'm a sticky note lady. Among the questions y'all have asked me, is this real or is this fake? Because a lot of people say, oh, this pizza thing with traffic and kids is real. And a lot of people say it's been debunked. It's not real. And then some people say, yeah, it's been debunked, but it's been debunked by the people who are involved in it. So of course they have some way to, some reason to say it's not real because they have a stake in it, and all this kind of stuff back and forth. So we're going to look into today whether this is real or whether this is fake. Y'all have asked also, was this Comet restaurant, ping pong, whatever place ever involved? You've asked me, are politicians involved? You've asked me, are these leaked emails real? You've asked me, is this linked to Epstein? And you've asked if this will ever publicly get exposed in a way that most people will believe. The thing is, most of these questions are automatically answered if the cards come up and say that this is fake. So that's that's what we're gonna say. But if the cards come up and say it's not really fake and it starts giving us some extra stuff, then whoo. So this has the potential to either be the quickest reading that I've ever done, where it's like fake, end of story, or this has the potential to be such a long and involved reading that I end up needing to pause and make a second video on it or do another extended on the Perk Squad membership or whatever. So I don't know what we're getting into right now. All I know is I have protected the shit out of this space and myself and have sat here and prayed extensively for this. So let me go ahead and do my regular spiel that I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we do take a look at the tea with the tarot. These videos are always meant to be helpful, never hateful, so if you are down with that, please join the family here. We would love to have you. And yeah, let's get on into this. One thing I think y'all should know, I'll go ahead and pull up the cards here, but one thing I think y'all would be interested in. Last night I was like flopping around, couldn't really sleep very well, and it was because I kept waking up from having these really intense dreams, and the dreams were literally about Epstein and trafficking and things of that nature. That's what my dreams were about. And I was like, this is bizarre. I've never dreamed about that before. And then when I woke up this morning, I was bleeding out of this side of my nose, the right side of my nose. I had a nosebleed, and that's also not common for me. And today happened to be the day that I was planning to film this thing about pizza. And so I was like, wow, I don't know if that means something. Might mean nothing at all. But I thought it was curious. I'm kind of one of those people that don't really believe in coincidence. I believe in synchronicity. So with that, let's move this microphone right here. Let's move it. Get it out the way. Get myself out the way too. Alrighty. So let's start shuffling it up, why don't we? And while we're shuffling it up, we do have a shout out today. So, shout out to Terry Moore. Shout out to you, Terry Moore, for using the new emojis in the chat. So a lot of you have been using the emojis in the chat, but I wanted to give a shout out to Terry for using the emojis in the chat. So thank you and shout out to you. Anybody else interested in shout outs or exclusive videos or using those custom emojis that I designed and got made, or having a badge by your name, or all these 5 perks of the Perk Squad? If you're interested in that, then please click the join button next to the subscribe button, or there's also a link in the description box below on becoming a Perk Squad member, so you can look into that if you'd like. But shout out to you, Terry Moore. I just wanted to say that. Alright, we are shuffled up here. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to just let the cards kind of start wherever they're going to start. I'm not going to ask any one of those questions separately for right now. I just want to see where the cards start with all this, and kind of go from there. So, let's see. Well, I guess I'll keep this here so I'll be able to see. Okay, this card fell out just now. Alrighty. I know it has a glare on it, but, okay. Alrighty. So, okay. Let's look at here. Alrighty, so these are interesting first cards to kind of draw. Let me, before I even get into anything else, let me direct your attention right here. Okay, look over here. All alleged. This is all alleged, y'all. This is all alleged, y'all. I just really gotta say that. This entire thing. But let's pull a little extra, context. Yes, let's pull some extra context. Get a little more something on this so we know where to start with it. Okay. Okay. I mean, I can't make this shit up. Okay. So, I will go ahead and say that for starters, I can safely say from this, allegedly, I can say that there is some truth to this. Now, does it mean that every little thing that everybody has said about this is true? No, not necessarily. Some of that could be conspiracy and could be lies. We'll look into it. We'll find out a little bit more. But from what I see right now so far, there is some element to truth on that. And I know you can't see this card well, but we'll get into that. There's some element of truth to this. So here, let's go ahead and jump on into this. This is saying that there's something going on that is not ideal. This is something that most people would say, this isn't what we want. This isn't what we would want to happen. It's something that for most people would be an issue that they would take very emotionally. With this, the Lover's card, to me, this with the Lover's card is about some sort of a business deal, business venture. And here we have the King of Swords in this, in the reverse position. So a business venture that would be, kind of cutthroat, cutting through stuff, a cutthroat kind of business that is not a great business, because again, we're in the reversed position. This is not a positive position for this card to be in. Then over here we have the King of Pentacles talking about money, Look at here, money, that there is a money-making business. And here again, we have yet another money card, but we have the Knight of Pentacles here, bringing in the money, carrying in the money, trafficking in the money. So money gets moved in certain ways through this as well. This is a big money-making thing. I get here the justice system, the legal system. And as this card comes on top of it, y'all have seen me pull this card that ends up conveying similar things, similar themes to this before. This is a card about trafficking. Yeah, like you see this person as like a transporter, almost a guide, moving these people, and it looks like a woman and a young child, moving them from one place to another place. So to me, that does involve people getting moved. And if you notice, this is a body of water, so people would get moved literally, not just like, oh, take somebody from Atlanta to California or something. No, like people get moved like overseas, some kind of way. Like this is kind of the sky's the limit on movement here. Like you don't just move. It doesn't have to be small movement here. This can be big moves, which would tell me that there is a bit of a big infrastructure for this. Especially again, we have the justice system here. So to me, this means that there are some people that are involved in a legal system that knows about this some sort of way, or has, like, I don't think this is a secret in a lot of, okay, it's a secret in that people don't want people to know about this. But I don't think it's secret as in, I think that there are a lot of people that know things that if there weren't any consequences for having that knowledge, they'd be like, yeah, duh, a lot of people know. Or, you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying here? I will also qualify all of this that I'm doing here to say that I am aware of this theory about pizza, but I am not one of those people who has gone down every inch of the rabbit hole to look at all of these little things. I just am aware of it, and I wrote down your questions on it as y'all have asked me in various comments and stuff like that, and I haven't looked into it too deeply because I didn't want to get too influenced with what I was going to read here. So just going to throw that out there. Here, I'm getting the Queen of Wands upright, but then the Queen of Swords in reverse. This tells me that there are at least two, I would say women, because they're queens, although it can be men with feminine traits as well. But there's at least two women that have some sort of stake in this, or some sort of knowledge about this, that would be more of the powerful people in the know, or the powerful people behind it or something. I am seeing that there would be at least two there. And then here with the Strength card upright and the Judgment card upright, to me, this is an indication of things coming out about this. So, holding on, being strong, judgment. I mean, look, Judgment card is like a day of reckoning. This is Angel Gabriel shooting his horn, blowing his horn, whatever. Honestly, every way I say it sounds bad. And kind of, so this is like a homecoming of sorts, It's the Judgment Day, crack the gavel, Judgment Day kind of a card. So to me, there's some truth to this. Now, in terms of the details, we're going to fish in here and dig around and find out some more about the details. But it looks like there is some truth to this, allegedly, already. I don't think it is a complete fake by what I'm seeing here in the cards. And again, a lot of people may get mad at this, but it's interesting that people trust me to do readings for things like Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, and those readings have come to pass and come true, and people believe in that. But then the second I go and do readings like this, if people get information they don't like, then all of a sudden they don't want to believe in it anymore. And it's strange to me. So I don't know what to say, but your prerogative, you know. This is difficult information. I understand. This is difficult. I'm just saying it's not easy to be the messenger, and don't shoot the messenger, is all I'm saying. Okay. Here we go with this. Let's look into this a little bit more. Ooh, card fell out. And again, as I've mentioned before in the previous video I did that was controversial, like this video, I did one on the virus and whether it was an accident or whether it was planned. If you haven't seen that one, then, you know, click back on my videos and look up that one. And it was an interesting mix of what I got there. Ooh, this one flew out. Upright or reverse? Okay. Upright or reverse? It was sideways. Stop coming out sideways. Upright or reverse? Wow. It keeps coming out sideways. I'm going to put it like this and I'll read it as if it was both. Because that's interesting. So check it out if you missed it. But before I even get into this, I didn't think I would read this a second time, but I do think now I will read this a second time, because there may be people watching this video right now that were not a part of the first video, and so I think it is important to go ahead and read this again. The piece here that's pertinent that I wrote is, I read tarot on things that I'm interested in, and one of the things that I'm interested in is looking into what may be true and what may be a lie, because we hear so many contradictory things about that. And my aim in doing these controversial videos is not to blindly support conspiracies, but is to see what the cards have to say about whether these topics have any truth to them whatsoever, or whether these topics are 100% fabrications. So all of this is all alleged as usual, and know that these videos are made purely out of curiosity and not as a means to spread propaganda for either agenda or the other. So please remain respectful in the comments. People have different beliefs. People see the world different ways, and we need to hold space for that. None of this right now is proven to be true or proven to be false, really. There's so much that goes up in the air about this that nobody can necessarily be right now. So we're all just talking, and everybody's allowed to have opinions. So let's be kind about it. Okay, so with what I'm seeing here in this kind of a new spread, I'm going to pull a little extra context on this as well, because I want to see what we have going on here. Why did I? Oh. Okay. So, here we have the Chariot card in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse. So this is saying that there is some sort of a project that's kind of being stopped right now, or trying to be stopped right now. So some element of this is meant to discontinue. Something is trying to be stopped, or being in the works to be stopped, because the Chariot in reverse all stop, and Page of Pentacles talking about projects and things of that nature. We have the Five of Cups upright, which talks about kind of feeling like there's some disappointment, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is a bad luck card. So this is kind of saying that, well, hold on. Actually, this could mean a couple things. Let me get a clarifier on this, because I have an idea. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. So disappointment, as in these people, these cloaked people, we're going to just say it that way, as in the people who are in hiding in the shadows, the people that know that they're doing, foul stuff. That these people, the Wheel of Fortune card is a card of fate. I mean, if you know anything about Greek mythology, with the three fates that cut the string of fate and destiny happens, that's this card. It's a big deal card, something fated to happen. And when it being in the bad luck position, this is bad luck for people who are not on the side of truth. The Ace of Swords is a truther movement card, charge ahead, charge with the truth. This is a truther card. So this is a bad luck card for people who are not on the side of truth. So I see stuff looking like it's trying to get stopped. I see stuff looking like it's trying to come out in the open, and the truth is trying to come out. So to me, there does look like there's some truth to this stuff. Again, in terms of the devil's being in the details, the devil's in the details, you heard that. I don't know if every little thing that people have suggested about this pizza idea is true. But what I'm saying is, in terms of the traffic part of this, that there is very much valid truth to that, very much so. With the Seven of Cups upright, Eight of Wands in reverse. Remember, this is our receipts Whitney card, remember? So we're talking about text messages, emails, leaked, things of that nature. So with this saying, this is overwhelming. There's so much going on here. What's truth, what's not? And how do we rip the blindfold off to be able to see what actually is happening? This is saying leaks. There are documents, there are things, tangible things, communication that's, again, tangible. I don't know how else to say that. So emails, documents, texts, things of that nature that people can tangibly access, that will be presented if it's not already presented. I don't know. Will be presented if it's not already. That is pretty damning to this, and shows some convincing information. And so I do see that there. Let me go ahead and pull another one on this. Yeah, Page, as it relates to young people, because a page represents young people. And with the cups, that's emotional. Four of Swords, people laying low on this. There are people that know that this stuff is already out there. It looks like there will probably be more to come, but this looks like what this stack is referring to is something that's already out there. And people are laying low on this. I mean, look at this. Laying low completely, trying not to call attention to it. Woo, that card shot right on out. Oh, this card shot right on out. If y'all didn't see it, I'm sure you heard it, okay, when I was shuffling. The Seven of Wands upright. I mean, look at this. I got to protect my space. I've got to protect things. So it's people covering things up. This is laying low and covering things up through and through, without a doubt in my mind, is exactly what that is. People fighting about this. So there is something to this, y'all. There's something something to this. And I think that means then, because what's coming up for me now is it means there's something to this when people say, but it's been debunked, it's proven to be false. And other people say, yeah, it's been debunked and proven to be false by people who are involved. So that's a conflict of interest. Of course, they're going to suggest that nothing's going on because they don't want to get revealed. And that's what this is looking like. I would say that that's true. Allegedly, I would say that that's true. I'm going to upset a lot of people with this. I'm going to lose a lot of support with this, you know. Share this video out to people because I'm sure YouTube will suppress this, and might even be that whole shadow banned video or whatever where it doesn't get put out there. So please help get it out there then, because I know I'm going to lose some support on this. But I'm just reading what the cards say. Why do I have any other stake? Why would I say something in the cards that I don't actually see, and then it later doesn't actually come true? And I get egg on my face. Why would I do that? And if I lose support for doing things like this, then what would be in it for me to lie? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand this rationale. Boom. High Priestess in reverse. This is not trustworthy crap. This is totally without integrity. This is, again, hiding and suppressing information. Emperor. There's an emperor involved in this. By emperor, this, ooh. That gives me, okay. I'm just going to say this. Emperor, the Emperor card is a big card in the tarot. And when I pull a card like this, in a lineup like this, like, my guides are telling me this is a guy that is more than just an important guy. Like, this is a guy that would be either considered a leader or somebody in royalty or something like that somewhere in the world that would be involved in this. Like, this is a big name person here. Ooh, walking away. There's a big name person that is either high up in government or high up in royalty or something like that. And this card is talking about leaving, trying to leave this situation completely, separate myself from this situation completely. Like, no, this has nothing to do with me. I am not a part of that, blah, 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 blah. Like, this person is too a part of that, absolutely, but he is trying to distance himself from this and walk away from it completely. Probably because he's scared of getting found out or discovered or look bad some sort of way. So that's very interesting. That's very interesting. And if it hasn't happened yet, then it will happen. I don't know if this has happened yet or if it will happen in the future. Okay. Magician card. You know this stands for kids. You know that's my card for kids. So, the Magician card, as it relates to kids, okay, so this is saying, like, here's somebody that has access to everything, you know, because all of these, in the decks, you see that we have cups and pentacles and swords and wands, and this magician is holding all of them. This is somebody that has access, you know, like, for this, I'm getting people, like not just one person. These are people that have access to all of these things. So they have access to these youth. And here we go again with somebody looking out. Again, they're looking out overseas. Look at these boats, these ships coming in. They're looking out overseas in a reverse position, so a negative, bad position. So these are people that have money and resources galore to bring these youth in from all over the world, is what it's looking like. All over. Hierophant. This card stands for, you've already seen it in lots of my videos. This is the religious institutions card, the government's card, it's these institutions and governments and all of that kind of stuff, sometimes pertaining to religious institutions and things like that, because look at this person, is kind of looking like a pope here or something like that, doing the blessing symbol. So there's some sort of a connection here between various institutions, various governments, and possibly between various religious institutions. And I myself am obviously a very spiritual person, and I was raised Methodist in the Christian faith, so I by no means am trying to be blasphemous for saying things like this. I'm just saying what I'm seeing in the cards, being as impartial as I can be and reading what I'm seeing in the cards. You see what cards I'm pulling up. A lot of you get familiar with these cards and you know what I'm talking about. So you see, I'm not making up different things for different cards each time, for crying out loud. Who has that kind of time and creativity? Four of Pentacles. This is about greed, y'all. I mean, look at it. This is about greed, about control. They're about to be losing money, though. This is losing money. This is having failed transactions of money going from one hand to another hand, passing things. So there's something in this system that's failing. Now, you know how things go. Think about a business, okay? Let's think about it this way. If there is a business and you work in this business, say first you have spats between coworkers, then you have communication breakdowns from, the higher ups to the frontline staff, and then you have money and accounts being lost, and so now they're having to shuffle money around this way and that way. And now, you see what I'm saying? Like, the breakdown of a business in a situation like that doesn't happen like this. It doesn't happen overnight. It could be that there's problems in that business that starts growing steadily and steadily over time, and the problems start worsening and worsening until, boom, the business crumbles and they have to file bankruptcy and all of this kind of stuff. But sometimes that's a gradual process of things going wrong. That business may not collapse overnight. People may try to grab at straws, take out some loans or something to help save their business. People will try things to help save their business and all of that before it crumbles to the last bit and they have nothing left. So this takes time. What I am seeing here is that things are crumbling. Things are starting to crumble. God, mind, mouth, same speed, please. Things are starting to crumble. Sorry, when I start channeling, like, I get stuff so fast in here that it's hard for my mouth to keep up with it all. But it's like, people who've had private sessions with me know I say mind, mouth, same speed all the time. Y'all know, don't you? Who in here has had that experience with me in a private reading? But yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. So this feels to me like the beginning of the end is what this feels like to me. Like, there are things that are going wrong in this business and things that are getting found out, things that aren't going well or whatever in this business to make it be what it is. And it's in bad shape right now and it's starting to crumble. How long will it take to fall? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it'll take, weeks, months, years, but it is going to fall. This can't stay, is what I'm seeing here. We're already falling. Moon card, hidden agendas, hidden secrets. Okay, hidden agendas, hidden secrets. Let me see. Sometimes whenever it's in this way, it means things coming to light. I'm just curious. Upright or reverse? Will things come to light? Boom. Boom. So, because I felt like it would, and I just had to spin it and ask. Things will come out. Things will come to light. A business like this can't fail quietly and discreetly. A business like this fails and leaves a trail of visible failures for people to be able to see. Now, could that trail be suppressed? Absolutely. But if people are looking for it, could they find things on it? Also absolutely, for this moon card. Here, again, this is like a card about, oh, but don't bite the hand that feeds. We're sitting here doing this, you know, we're the good people. But then you have this Seven of Swords on top of it that's like, no, that's a lie. This is shifty. This is sneaky. This is not good. Shifty and sneaky. Okay. Yep. Shifty and sneaky. We have a Knight of Cups. Knights are usually fairly youthful, you know, teens and early 20s. And then the Family card here in reverse. So there are people involved in this. Like up here, we were talking kids. Here, we're talking teens and young adults. So when I'm looking through this, I'm seeing a whole range of youth that are involved in this kind of thing. From young, like the Fool card can be as young as literal infants. But then a Knight card, again, could be as old as like, you know, somewhere in the 20s. So we're talking an entire range of youth that this could be affecting. And this is a great responsibility, a great burden, and people feel like it's worth it to carry this. Here we go again with a Family card. Here we go again with a Family card. Oh, shit. Y'all, it's a Family card. But what is that in the background? That's a castle. I kind of hate doing these. I mean, I like doing these readings and that I'm very curious in knowing what's true and what's not. But then when I do these readings and I see certain things, it makes you nervous because you know what people are going to say. You know how people are going to react. You know, please do not weaponize this reading in any way, shape, or form. Let me say that right now. Thank you. But that's a castle back there. I mean, again, I'm just saying, there are big people involved in this, it looks like. And I'm not saying from any one country, because as we already looked at things that say overseas. To me, this seems like it's a huge thing that covers multiple countries. So I'm not targeting any one country or any one successful person or successful group or successful family or successful institution. I'm talking about a lot here. Knight of Wands in relationship readings is the fuckboy card. Just throwing that out there. And now we have a reverse Knight of Swords, which is like the rat wheel spinning, like I'm spiraling. I'm trying to figure out what to do. How do we cover for this? What do we do? Damned if we do, damned if we don't, because things are breaking down. Okay. All right. So, what I'm getting here... Okay, what I'm getting here... I'm just reading what I'm seeing, okay? Here is a man. He's in the reverse position as being a part of the problem. This is the Star card, also in the reverse position, talking about being a part of the problem. Star card. When I see this Star card... I think about stars in the sky and all of these kinds of things like this, like comets. So the people that were asking me about a certain name of something called Comet, a certain restaurant, I see that there is involvement in that with that and a certain male. I don't know who the male is. I don't know if it's someone who works there, someone in leadership there. I don't know if maybe there is an owner who is male or something like that. But there is a mail with that place that has some involvement. I don't know how or to what extent. Because it may not be like is presented to us in conspiracies. It may not be like that. It could be different than what is pitched to us, but there is something about that person in that place that is linked, even if it may be linked in a different way than was suggested. So I think that we have to kind of have our minds open for the possibility of that. Making a decision has been made between two different things. So here's one. So a decision had to be made, and it was already made, and it was between children or being able to get back up when you were beaten down. So in other words, they had to make a decision about that location that says, are we going to keep doing things and having some sort of a visible involvement with youth, or are we going to protect our image? And the decision was made. The decision was made to protect the image, because this is about getting out of a lack mentality, getting out of a bad spot. So to me, what it looks like there, and again, I don't know all the theories around this place, so, don't kill the messenger or whatever, but it looks here like there's something involved with that place, yes, and they had to figure out, do we want to save face or do we want to try to keep doing this? And it was almost like, our cover is blown and it's too risky to keep doing things here. Let's move something and figure out something else some sort of way. And they chose to save face some sort of way. So I think that things were cleaned up some sort of way. Like if there was some sort of involvement, that there was a way to get rid of potential evidence or things like that. Now, again, do I know for sure that anything happened physically there at that location? No, I don't. But it looks like that organization and a male associated with that organization knows about all of this happening around the world and is in on it some type of way. So they may not have actually done anything at their physical location. It's quite possible that they didn't. It's possible that they did, but it's possible that they didn't. But what we do know allegedly from the cards is that that person and that institution has some sort of involvement and knowledge of this. Okay? Is that being clear enough, some sort of way? So, here we go. This is talking about planning things out, and with the Temperance card in reverse, this is something that's completely not balanced and timing is not on their side as it relates to... This is an infant. Okay? There's some timing is not on their side as it relates to an infant, and then here, this is almost a perfect way to kind of pause where we're at on this. Here, Page of Wands as a messenger card saying the tower's gonna fall. The message is that the tower is gonna fall. How clear can that be? The tower is gonna fall. So this answers a lot of the questions that y'all had on this sticky note. A lot of the questions. What I'm gonna do now, we've already been talking for damn near 45 minutes. So I'm going to, just like I did with that virus video, I'm going to pause it here, start a new video, and just do a little bit extra on another video that I'll upload to the Perk Squad. The last time with the virus, the extended video for the Perk Squad was about the vaccine. and it was just a 12-minute little video upload. So like I tell people, I do the bulk and the majority here for all of the percolators, okay? But I just give perks and extras to the Perk Squad. So we'll go for a little extra, I don't know, 10 extra minutes or so, maybe 15 on for the Perk Squad members to dive in some more, because I'm curious here now where it says the tower is gonna fall. I'm a little bit curious about that, so I'm gonna kind of dive into that a little bit more in the extended. Again, if you want to join the Perk Squad, then the join button or the link in the description box. But outside of that, for anybody who would like a private reading with me, that is also a link in the description box, and you can schedule it yourself right here and now. So you can do that if you would like to. Also, I'm going live here on YouTube on Thursday. This Thursday, September 10th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 3 p.m. Pacific Time for those of you on the West Coast of the States. And then that is 11 p.m. for all of y'all in the UK, and somewhere between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. for all of you Aussies out there, depending on which side of Australia you live on. Don't know if y'all are some Perth people or some Sydney people, but there you go. So let's dig into this a little bit further over there on the Perk Squad for anybody that wants a little bit of extra and wasn't ready for it to end here. But for everybody who doesn't want to watch the rest of it, we dived in and we got, like, I answered all these questions. This is just a big topic, honestly, is what it looks like. It looks like this is just a big topic that's never ending and that we could go on for ages with this. So who knows? Who knows? This is just insane. My mind and my mouth can't even go the same speed right now. I'm sweating. This is intense. Okay, y'all. I'll catch y'all in the Perk Squad on the video that's about to come up. You can check it. It'll probably be uploaded just shortly after this. And for the rest of you percolators, don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Okay, bye. Love you, mean it. Love you, mean it. Bye, y'all.